It is an early morning start in Peoria for your final day of the Class 1A baseball season. We'll get things rolling here at Dozier Park as our third place game matches the Bombers for Argenta, Oreana, and the New Athens Yellow Jackets. And hi again, everybody, along with Hall of Fame coach Mark Lindo, I'm Dave Bernhard. These teams playing in a third place game by virtue of a couple of losses yesterday. And you talk about tough ones to take. First of all, for New Athens, they had to go 10 innings before dropping a 5-4 game to Weber. And that was a heartbreak in more ways than one. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. And Argenta Oreana shutout, a 1-0 shutout, only getting 2 hits in the loss to Illinois Lutheran. So, Mark, you just kind of suck it up here and you say, okay, let's see what we can do here at 9 o'clock in the morning in a third place game.
Well, you know, it's a wake-up call, literally and figuratively for both teams, coming off a loss. And there's still some solid personnel on the field. We're going to see a couple special players, and we're going to see some people that are out there playing hard. We'll also see maybe some bench strength personified today, so it should be fun. It should be a relaxed atmosphere, and it should be a sun-splashed morning.
For the Bombers, for Argenta Oreana, they'll bat first. This is how their order will look today here in the third place game. Gage Eller, who did the pitching yesterday for AO, he'll lead it off and play short. You see down at the bottom, Jeffrey Parker, he's the designated hitter. He'll be batting for the third baseman. Connor Halton will take a look when they get the field defensively. You get a good look at Keegan McHood, headed to the University of Kentucky, just a junior. Defensively for the New Athens Yellow Jackets, Brandenburger, Roussan, and Tootie, the same outfield as yesterday. Ryan Royce will play third base. Lucas Miller's the shortstop. Travis Zappi at second. Tyler Meyer at first. Alec Wade still doing the catching. And the pitcher today in this third place game, Nick Ozier.
Nick Ozier's 3-6 on the season, 3.67 earned run average. He's punched out 35 hitters and walked just 14 in 47 2/3 innings. And his first pitch and the rest of the ball game will be called by the Hall of Fame voice of the IHSA, Dave Bernhard.
Well, thank you very much, Mark. We'll get things started with Gage Eller leading it off. Eller yesterday, as we said, picked up the loss on the mound. 6 innings, only allowed 2 hits of his own, 1 run. He struck out 8. He was 1 for 2 at the plate. And he's quickly down the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Eller on the season for the Argenta Oreana Bombers. A .343 average, 13 runs batted in. He has 5 home runs from the leadoff spot. Sweeping pitch there from Ozier.
You mentioned those 5 home runs. Probably not as expansive ballparks he's playing in today. 400 is straightaway center field here at Dozier Park with big gaps in the alleys. There's an awful lot of room to run if you can split a gap at this field.
We didn't see any balls get out of here yesterday. Had maybe 1 or 2 to the warning track, and that was it. Ball didn't carry very well to right field at all today. The wind blowing a little bit from the right field pole to the left field pole, about 7 miles per hour. Temperature here at game time, 76 degrees. And that is more wind than we had yesterday. A very calm day yesterday for the semifinals. Eller rips this one dead center. After a little bit of a slip, Charlie Roussan will make the catch.
Well, that ball was, he had fouled off the previous pitch straight back. So you knew he was on the offerings of Ozier. Then he squared that one up hard. Good adjustment by Roussan. Good outfielders break back first, made the adjustment, got his body in position to make a good catch.
Cameron Hupp, the right fielder, those bright orange shoes for AO. Has that bat, of course, that has the orange on it as well. He's playing it. School colors for the Bombers. Of course, the blue and orange you get a good look at there. To the left side and through. Past Lucas Miller into left field. Cameron Hupp, yesterday hitless in 2 at-bats. He'll pick up an early one here today.
You know, David, interesting watching that ball go through. I wonder if your thought process is the same. There's been no rain here, so it doesn't make a difference. But that ball got through the infield, I thought, quicker than any ball yesterday. I mean, I don't know if it's dry, it's quicker. They didn't water, but, you know, yesterday I thought the field played relatively slow. That ball got in like a heartbeat.
It did. I think it fooled Miller as well. Now, they do take pregame infield. That ball's probably hit a little bit firmer than some of the infield balls they got. I think Miller is just thinking, I'm going to make here a nice little easy backhand, and that ball skipped by him.
And to maintain the field, the Peoria Chiefs staff has put out the, you know, the rubber tarpaulin for infield practice, and I think that slows the ball down as well.
That's another one that almost handcuffs Miller. Safe at first, safe at third, ball thrown down the line, and a run will score for the Bombers as Hupp will come all the way around on Keegan McHood's bouncer to the shortstop. 1-0 AO.
So they sent the runner in motion. I think you'll see a little bit of free open baseball today. You know, you kind of throw the books out and let kids play. This ball again is scalded. He takes a fastball in the outer part. Good snare by Lucas Miller. Then he airmails the throw. Coming off the base and then airmailing another throw was Tyler Myers. So a couple errant tosses leads to a run.
Again, you saw the quickness that ball got to Miller out at shortstop again. Took a little bit of a sideways hop as well. So I agree. I think it is much quicker out here today. That brings up Logan Jackson. Already, Argenta Oreana run more than they scored yesterday.
Scott Wine told us that Nick Ozier pitches to contact. He hasn't fooled anybody, but his defense, you know, right now has got to pick him up.
The outfield playing deeper than we saw the Bombers play yesterday as well. That outfield of Brandenburger, Broussard, and Tootie.
You have Logan Jackson, who has some power, 30 RBIs in the 4-hole, as well as that wind that is blowing out to left field.
Logan Jackson, a cleanup hitter for AO. Jackson this year .413 batting average, driven in 30 runs. Yesterday, 0 for 2. There were some 0-fers. Only McHood and Eller with hits yesterday for AO. Big cut from Jackson. The ball took a long time getting there, just 63 miles per hour.
Spiders just set up shop right in front of me there.
That's within the last 12 hours.
Yes, my goodness.
High to center field. Broussard will give a little bit of ground. McHood tagging. He's going to go. McHood glances over his shoulder and he goes into third standing up. So McHood advances on the fly out by Jackson. 2 gone in the inning. We come to Cole Banks. Cole Banks, just a sophomore, .254 batting average. He wasn't going to be the catcher, and he credits his teammate Jesse Brown, because Jesse Brown told Coach Tom Sanchez, you know, Coach, I really think you need to catch Cole Banks. Well, I don't know that that Jesse Brown carries that much weight, but but the suggestion paid off, because Sanchez said at the beginning of the year, you know, that as good a season AO would have, well, it would depend on the catching, because they are replacing an all-conference catcher, and Banks is going to drive in the second run of this game. Quick 2-0 lead here for the Bombers from Argenta Oreana.
Well, Banks was 0 for 3 yesterday, but again, they are really getting through the zone, pulling the ball to the left side. So right now, Ozier's showing that he's not overpowering. Locked out his lead leg, pulled his hands through the hitting zone, and just drilled that ball once again quickly into the outfield. So the ball really traveling on this grass/dirt today.
Austin Brown, the 6th man to bat here in the first inning. Courtesy runner, Jared Hupp, run at first base for the catcher Banks.
See Ozier, like a couple pitchers, working from the far left side of the rubber, which gives his arm angle a little bit more difficulty. Sometimes you have to throw across your body with that.
Austin Brown will follow this one straight back. Brown this year, .314 hitter. Short lead for Hupp at first, going the opposite way, and that will fall in front of the right fielder, Tootie. Hupp makes a big turnaround second. He'll have to get back, and he does. Make that the 3rd hit of the inning for Argenta Oreana.
And that ball was squared up as well. That was a breaking ball that Brown had the ability to wait, be patient as a hitter. Good hitters do not go out and get the baseball. Watch him stay back, and then he just laces it to right field. Good hitters let the ball get to them and track it to the last possible second.
First pitch swinging is Taylor Farrell. Ian Royce will make that catch, and that will end the inning. However, 2 runs across the plate, 3 hits. There was an error, and after a half inning of play here in your 3rd place game in Class 1A, Argenta Oreana has a couple of runs. New Athens brings a 19-18 record into this game. Of course, that means they started the state playoffs with a losing record, dropped that tough one 5-4 yesterday to Weber, and their offensive lineup similar to what they ran out yesterday. Charlie Roussan to lead things off, followed by Tyler Brandenberger. Brandon Contrato will be the designated hitter here today. Contrato did the pitching yesterday, so give his arm a little bit of a breather. Tyler Meyer, Alec Wade, and Nick Osier in that middle part of the order. Then Ryan Royce gets a start today. We saw him in relief yesterday. Lucas Miller at short and Dylan Tootie in right. Defensively, it's Farrell Jackson and Cameron Hupp in right, left to right for the Bombers from Argenta, Oreana. Third baseman Connor Holton, shortstops Gage Eller, Jesse Brown, and Austin Brown on the right side of the infield. Cole Banks behind the plate. And get a good look, and we've been waiting to see the look at this. Keegan McHood, the junior, headed to Kentucky.
Got a special treat watching Keegan McHood. Look at those numbers, 10-1. That loss was on the first game of the season at Williamsville. 125 strikeouts. That's not a typo right there. 125 punch-outs, just 67 innings. You're the math major, not me, but that's almost 2 an inning. A minuscule 0.52 earned run average, only 21 walks. So he can be efficient, he can be overpowering. He's got a hard breaking ball, and he's got a big-time future.
Brings it up and in on Charlie Roussan to lead it off here for the Yellow Jackets from New Athens. Yesterday, Roussan 1 for 4, scored a run, walked a couple of times. Did a good job as a leadoff hitter. That was a 10-inning game, a 5-4 loss to New Athens. This was to Weber, as New Athens had a 4-1 lead going into the 7th inning. Weber came back, scored 3 to tie the ball game. However, New Athens in the bottom half of that 7th inning loaded the bases with nobody out, forced a 5-man infield, just 2 outfielders. A fly ball resulted in a double play, a throw out at home plate, and then an out to end the inning. And finally, we go to 10. Weber picks up a run in that 10th inning and sends New Athens here to this 3rd place game.
Well, New Athens was the beneficiary of 9 base on balls yesterday and 5 errors, and yet they still came up short.
Keegan McHood will get his first strikeout of the day.
And you know what? There could be a few more. I mean, come on now. The guy averages 2 strikeouts an inning. That's absolutely insane. It is.
You know, during the regular season, opponents don't always have the opportunity to look at the stat sheets, but with the IHSA state program that every player will get, they'll thumb through, and everybody in that New Athens dugout knows what they're looking at. This is Tyler Brandenberger, and he'll put this one straight up and back, and a little bit of a late jump from the catcher, Banks.
Yeah, that's a situation, Banks, you're right. Described it perfectly. He got a late jump on that, and that's where your pitcher does have to help you. Up, straight up the chute, you know, right, left, and I don't think there was a whole lot of verbal help that time by the AO defense.
Brandenberger had a hitting 5 at-bats yesterday, comes into this tournament hitting .337, also drove in a run and walked.
Yeah, 9 hits and 9 walks yesterday.
To center field and Logan Jackson. 2 up, 2 down.
That was an easy out, I'll tell you what. Brandenberger was right on him, you know. I mean, he had a foul ball straight back that he had tracked pretty well, and you know, drove that one out, so he did not get overpowered. He was not overmatched.
You know, as you said, 9 hits, 9 walks. You had actually 6 errors committed by Weber, and you lose. That's a tough one to go home to.
And the next game, we'll say how fortunate Weber was on their end of things to give up 9 walks and 6 errors, and you're playing the title game.
Brandon Contrato, as we said, doing the hitting today. He's batting for Travis Zappi, the second baseman. Yesterday, Contrato pitched the first 6 innings for New Athens. Gave up 7 hits, 3 runs. He did strike out 8, threw 121 pitches before he left. Ryan Royce came in, picked up the loss in that game.
That is one nasty slide piece right there that Keegan McHood had. It breaks hard, probably about 79, 80 miles an hour on the break, and it breaks sharply.
Ooh. Right off the pad, it is, so it appears, and Contrato will head down to first base. Ball just ran right in on Contrato. They check to make sure he's okay at first base. Here's a look back at it.
See if it's a 2-seam. It is. So a two-seam supposed to run down and in. That one stayed up.
Cleanup hitter, first baseman Tyler Meyer here with 2 out in the bottom of the first inning. Meyer hitless in 6 at-bats yesterday. 358 on the season. Nice cut. Our home plate umpire in this one is Joe Kemp. Jim Hayden is at first, and third base is Gary Taylor. This will be the same crew in a little bit different rotation that will work our championship ball game that will follow this one immediately, and that will match Weber Trojans. They are 23-7, and they'll take on the Chargers from Illinois Lutheran, bring a 26-2 record into that championship game.
That's a nice pitch.
Look at Meyer, number 16 on his back. 6'3", average about 20 points, 15 rebounds. Good game for the basketball team for number 15, Meyer.
Hey, hold your position. Hey, whatever you
Wraps up his athletic and high school career here today. Nice pitch from McCoy, and there's your second strikeout of the inning. Right on pace after 1. And after 1 inning of play here in our third place game in Class 1A, it's the Bombers, a 2-0 lead over New Athens. Good first inning for the Bombers from AO. A couple of runs. They did it on 3 hits, took advantage of a couple of errors. So we will head to the bottom of the second, and already we'll have 8-9, and then back to the top of the order. Jeffrey Parker, the designated hitter, will lead things off. He's hitting for the third baseman, Connor Halton. Yesterday, Parker hitless in 3 at-bats.
Several big hits for his team. We've touched on that yesterday. When he gets them, it matters.
Parker, 5'8", 220-pound senior, 244 average. He has 8 runs batted in. Of course, you've all come to know him and love him as Pork Chop Parker. And that will go right through the wickets for Royce, and that's how AO will start here in the second inning.
We saw 3 times yesterday in the 4 games, and there's 4 times in 5 where a ball just literally went underneath the glove of a defender. Now, my theory yesterday I'm going to stick with is that high school players are so used to the ball coming up on them. You got to work from the basement down. You work from the basement back up, and he just did not get his glove down. The ball went right underneath the wickets of Royce.
Jesse Brown with bunt to the third base side. Royce on the run. Nice play by a third baseman right there. Sacrifice bunt for Brown will move Parker into scoring position.
A little bit of small ball, baseball execution, setting the table, turn it over for Eller and Huff. Should both have a chance to drive in a run.
Coach for Argenta Oreana in his 30th year, Tom Sanchez, 508 wins. This will be his 4th time bringing his team to the state finals. In foul territory, Hosier wanted that one all the way. 2 outs to Cameron Hupp.
AO has a pretty nice feather in their cap of consistency. The last 4 decades, they've taken a team to the state tournament. 89, 94, 07, and 14. So they're a threat every decade. Basically, they've perpetuated itself under Sanchez, who's been here 30 years, 508 wins, and my goodness, he's coached football there, he's coached basketball there. He's retired from basketball and then got back into it, so gotta love the game.
Hupp hits this one to center field. Musan over, in, cap off, and the catch is made. So after the leadoff error, nothing doing, Nick Hosier sets down Argenta Oreana. We'll go to the bottom of the second in a 2-1 game here in your third place game. Morning in Peoria. Work on your tan, or at least kick back and relax. That's pretty much the attitude of third place games here in the state baseball finals. And right now we'll go to the bottom of the second inning. First pitch swinging is Alec Wade. Our center fielder is getting a lot of action early. That's the second catch made by Jackson. We'll bring up Nick Hosier. Hosier, the pitcher today. Yesterday, Ozier split his time between shortstop and third base. Had a hit in 3 official at-bats, scored a run, walked once. That game yesterday, the 5-4 loss to Weber in 10 innings. We had a lot of hitters, 38 official at-bats, throw in 9 strikeouts. He had almost 50 people come to the plate for New Athens. Ozier on the season, .259 average.
Time of that ball game yesterday was 2 hours and 47 minutes, and that was rolling right along, you know, until the 3-run 7th, you know, tied things up.
Attaboy.
Good, will get his 3rd strikeout.
It's a nasty pitch. That's almost unfair. I guarantee you. I can't guarantee. I would strongly believe that's the best breaking ball that he's seen all year.
Well, McHood comes in. You know, the numbers speak for themselves. You saw them a little bit earlier, the 125 strikeouts in 67 innings, an earned run average of 0.52. I think what's most remarkable about that earned run average is from the first game until the super sectional. So you're talking over a span of, what, almost 2 full months. Keegan McHood did not allow an earned run.
Yeah, that's special.
You just saw the fastball delivered at 87 miles per hour.
Well, his 0-1 fastball was just like I was going to comment. It was at the edge, what I call the 3 spot, which is at the knees on the outer edge, and it was almost unhittable if he would locate there every time and locate there on the inner part at the knees.
Ryan Royce, the hitter, as we said, Royce threw 4 innings yesterday. He had 2 plate appearances, walked. Was also 0 for 1 in his official appearance.
Now watch how easily McHood works. I mean, you just watch his demeanor. Man, he gets on the hill. He wants the ball. He wants the sign. I'm going to put the watch on him. He's throwing like 10 seconds between pitches max. Here we go. Watch him get the ball. Right there. His catcher gets the sign. Cole Banks. And look at, he wants to pitch. And delivery.
One hopper to the second baseman very softly. Jesse Brown goes to Austin Brown. 8.99 seconds from the time that ball hit the glove until it was delivered. That's moving it along.
That's moving along. That's getting some rhythm for you and your defense.
And your team is up 2-0 after 2. Keegan McHood will lead things off here for AO in the top of the 3rd inning, followed by Logan Jackson and Cole Banks. Checked into this tournament with a .456 batting average and 1 pitch and a base hit right up the middle. That's the 4th hit of the day for the Bombers.
Gotta love that first ball base hit. Knows you're going with a purpose, with a plan. Hitting is all about having a plan.
Logan Jackson flew out to center field his first time up today. It's a pretty tough punch here in this 3-4 spot of the Bombers order. Jackson drives this one high. It's deep to the corner and gone. Logan Jackson got every bit of that one. Left fielder Tyler Brandenberger, it was a token jog to the corner. This was well out of here. His 6th home run of the season.
Well, I usually describe home runs as LG or DLG. That was a DLG, definitely long gone. That ball was kissed. Boy, he got his legs, he got his hips through, and he just drove that. And obviously, the wind did help a little bit, but it was going to leave here anyway. Hardest hit ball of the weekend.
And a 4-0 lead for AO. Cole Banks, single and RBI in the 1st inning. And as you said earlier, Nick Ozier is not fooling him here. 9 o'clock in the morning. Banks waits on that one and a 1 hopper. Royce, first out of the inning. It's 3:10 down the lines here at Dozier Park. That ball is well beyond that.
AO, we touched on it yesterday. 2A school last year, a 1A school this year, taking home a trophy with 10 seniors on their roster. So they have some experience.
We have a couple of teams here. It's an interesting mix of teams we have here in our state finals this year. Checking it up is Austin Brown. Count goes to 0-2. Got a little piece of that one. We have Pleasant Plains that we'll see in the 2A championship game that finished second last year. They lost 7 starters off of that team, 9 seniors altogether, and they'll be playing a Byron team that has 6 3-year starters. So it's an interesting mix here of the level of experience. We have some great underclass players in this tournament, including Keegan McCood.
You know, it's also interesting, just about every roster we go down has multi-sport athletes, and we've touched on the fact that in a smaller school, that's a better opportunity to do that. And we've talked about all the positives of, you know, developing a full student athlete, whether it's the arts, whether it's athletics, whether it's academics, and giving kids as much opportunity to grow and be with different positive groups and role models as they can. And that's where these coaches come in as well, to support those things and be positive role models.
Strikeout of Austin Brown. It's the first strikeout by Osier today. Taylor Farrell, he popped up to the third baseman, his first time up. He'll step in with 2 outs. McCood started this inning with a single up the middle, and immediately following it, Logan Jackson drilled one deep out of this park for the 4-0 lead.
Well, after the sectional final, AO came into town with a fire truck excursion. After the super sectional, the same thing. I'm sure they'll be greeted when they get back tonight with a state trophy, and you know, just an incredible situation for a small town.
Farrell gets a piece of it, sends it back, and on the other side, New Athens came into the tournament with the losing record. The Yellow Jackets started this year 1-6 and 3-9 in their first 12 ball games, and after they won the super sectional, you know, Scott Wine, you know, made a very strategic decision. You know, what does he want his players to do? He told them after the super sectional, why don't you go fishing? We're not going to have practice tomorrow.
Monday, super sectional. Coach's last comment, you know, not get some extra hitting in, not take some ground balls, not stay focused. Go fishing tomorrow. Gotta love it.
Yep, indeed.
I don't know. Did they enter the state bass tournament with the IHSA sponsors?
No, that's a good question. You talk about multiple sport athletes.
That's right.
Osier delivers to Farrell. And that's called strike 3. It is 4-0 Argenta Oreana. The first 2 runs came in the first inning. The second 2 came on that swing. Logan Jackson leaves Dozier Park and gives his team a 4-0 lead. The third place game in Class 1A. Following this, we'll crown a state 1A champion. It will either be Weber or Illinois Lutheran. Both those teams and schools making their first appearances in state finals in any sport. And one of them is going to claim a state championship trophy. Leading it off here in the bottom of the third inning will be Lucas Miller. He'll be followed by Dylan Tootie. Then back to the top of the order, and Charlie Rusin for the Yellow Jackets of New Athens. Through 2 innings, Keegan McCood on the mound has struck out 3 and has hit a batter. Inside and fastball at 85 miles per hour.
Good picture right there of his grip. He's got to be careful he doesn't tip that off at the next level.
See that slider. This was a dominating performance by McCood in the super sectional, a 6-1 win over Ridgewood. And Ridgewood coach Seth Spivey said, you know, we weren't overwhelmed by McCood's velocity, but he has a caliber slider that you just don't see much in 1A baseball, and it was really toughened our hitters. And in fact, his own head coach Tom Sanchez says, yeah, that breaking ball, that's pretty absolute for a high school kid.
And you know what? Not to leave leave it to 1A, but he's got a, he's got a collegiate slider.
He blows that one right past him at 85.
Flat out gas upstairs, not going to catch up to that smoke.
Headed to the University of Kentucky after he has to play another year of high school. That seems a shame, right, for him. He have to get his high school credits all lined up. One more year of high school. It'd be interesting to see how the Wildcats choose to use him in college. Number 9 hitter Dylan Tootie.
Southeast Conference, you can't get much of a higher level than that. Division I baseball. College playoffs going on right now. Everybody trying to get to Omaha.
Tootie 1 for 5 yesterday. Reaches out. The bat was going one way, the body was going the other.
He doesn't want to stay in it. If he throws a slide piece right here, Church is out.
That's the best Tootie could do with that.
Yeah, he just got his hands way outside the ball, but caught enough to live another strike.
All right, kick it.
There's that grip. Look at how loose he has the baseball, so he gets good whip action.
All right, far enough. Here we go. Put it right here.
Talked about the strikeouts. Are you big on strikeout walk ratio, 125 to 21?
Yeah, we talked about that. That's just an incredible number.
6 to 1. And an opportunity here for Tootie. He will reach on that ball in the dirt.
Cole Banks knows he's going to get a break in the ball in the dirt. McHood buries it, but that ball spun from his left to his right, went off his shin guard, and then catapulted back to his left. So really no chance on the strikeout, drop, third strike, reach base.
Will be the 5th strikeout for McHood, and we go to the top of the order where Charlie Roussan, he was a strikeout victim his first time up, and he cannot catch up to that high heat. Roussan, another senior. A lot of folks playing their final game here today in Peoria.
That pickoff move by McHood is probably the best feat that I've seen on the mound this weekend. Can expound on that. The throw to first is not necessarily for young pitchers how hard you throw, it's how quick your feet can turn from the rubber to first base, and then a quick snap throw from your ear area.
There goes the runner. Throw down, and Tootie is in there with the stolen base.
All right, here we go. You dirty
Scott
girl.
Wine, the third-year head coach for the Yellow Jackets, says, let's see if we can get a little movement here with my leadoff man on base.
Right here, Keegan, right here.
Scott Wine coaches at Coulterville in the basketball season and coached against these guys from New Athens.
Yeah, I guess you have your own different scouting reports, right? You scout the basketball team, you say, okay, this guy can do this is what sort of athletic ability he has, and all of a sudden,
Back there, see back.
beginning of March comes around and get him in the gym and play a little baseball.
Attaboy, better.
1 and 2.
Dave, there's another guy that just captured my heart. Roussan just did the same thing. No batting gloves, picked up some dirt, rubbed the bat, and spit in his hands. That's the second time we've seen that this weekend. The second time I've thought old school baseball.
Not even sure how some players even realize that that's okay to do. Roussan will not bite.
You know, now some teams have a chance to play on all turf fields, which saves rain, but I tell you what, it's not the game of baseball.
That will send Roussan down to first base. The first walk of the day allowed by McHood. He's also hit a batter, and Athens Yellow Jackets have runners aboard. First and second and 1 out for number 2 hitter Tyler Brandenburger.
And McHood is not allowed to hit, but he's hit a man, as you mentioned, walked a man, as you mentioned, and a man got on a drop third strike. So they're trying everything. They got to try to get a base hit now.
Tying run, check that. The tying run is on deck. They have 2-run homer by Jackson in the top half of this inning. Brandenburger flew out to center his first time up.
Brandenburger had a pretty good at bat. Fouled off a couple pitches that he was right on timing-wise, wasn't overmatched, and hit the ball relatively hard to Logan Jackson.
That one comes in at 84, so McCood with his fastball right there in the middle 80s. He's touched 87 here today.
See, and I'll go back to Brandenburger again because he's swinging aggressively. Normally, you feel overmatched, you swing very defensively, but man, he's in an attack mode right now, swinging the bat.
Paints the outside corner for the 6th strikeout of the day here with 2 gone in the 3rd inning. That pitch froze Brandenburger.
Well, when you have that kind of velocity at this level, at the high school level, and you can paint the outer edge, again, with that location, he's almost untouchable.
Contrado was hit by a pitch his first time up. Brandon Contrado, he was originally listed to play shortstop in the first lineup we were given today. Then I have a feeling that after some warm-ups playing catch and after him throwing 121 pitches yesterday, I don't think that arm was quite ready to play short here today.
Yeah, faced 31 batters in 6 innings, gave up 7 hits, 3 runs.
Could not hold up.
He's got a chance to strike out 4 this inning.
And he does. Strikes out the side, +1. Nothing crosses the plate here in the bottom of the 3rd inning for New Athens. So AO will head to the top of the 4th with a comfortable 4-0 lead. An early morning for those folks here in Peoria. They will also get themselves home pretty early today. Beautiful skies here at about 9:30 this morning here in Peoria. Some other weather issues that may develop later in the day.
Who's batting?
Jeffrey Parker, Pork Chop at the
There you
plate.
go.
Pork Chop reached on an error last time, and again, I shared this quote yesterday. And I mean, if I had all the years I've announced, if I've kept quotes that you know, along the way, I love this one from his coach. Tom Sanchez says that Pork Chop here, he's happiest when he gets a hit. He can get someone to run for him. I absolutely love that.
You got to think, and we do not know the young man, you got to think that he's a lovable guy on his team, keeps his team loose and has some fun. And boy, is he enjoying the moment like all of these student athletes enjoying the moment in the sun, literally in the sun this morning.
He's the designated hitter for the Bombers here. Batting for Connor Halton, the 3rd baseman. Pork Chop swings at this one, and this may stay in play. A long way to go and a tough catch opportunity for Alec Wade. He was looking to his first baseman, Tyler Meyer. That's obviously a long way for Meyer at first base too, but an easier angle in terms of not having to carry that equipment with you.
Alex Wade, father, Jim, is now a doctor. He played in the '79 state championship team. He played as a freshman.
For New Athens, their history is a 2nd place finish in 1948. That was a team that featured Relly Herzog. That's what he was called before they nicknamed him Whitey Herzog. Charlie Schreier, the head coach in '78 when they finished 2nd. Bob Metzenbacher in 1979 on that state championship team that you just mentioned. The last time that New Athens was here was in 1982 in that Class A tournament.
I believe Kevin Poore, maybe the most noteworthy baseball alum, was in the early 80s for them. He was drafted by the Royals. And we mentioned that Scott Wine's son, Cale, played in the NCAA tournament for UN Monroe, and he was drafted by the Blue Jays. So they've had a couple signees.
New Athens down in the southwestern part of the state near St. Louis.
Girls softball won a sectional as well, regional and sectional. So spring sports were going hot and heavy late into the season for New Athens.
Off the fist, Royce, 3rd baseman, will cut it off. He'll get Parker down at first base for the first out here in the fourth.
A good job by Royce, because Parker, to say the least, is not the speediest man down to first base. So Royce knew he had time, stayed down on that ball, measured his throw, and executed the play fundamentally sound. If you play fundamentally sound, you have a chance to be in ball games.
One young man who was fundamentally sound his last time up at the plate, Jesse Brown, he had a perfect sacrifice bunt his first time, and he'll get a base hit out of that 9 spot here with 1 out in the fourth.
Well, they are peppering the left side of that infield. There's been at least 4 base hits. Watch his pick up his front foot. Perfect timing, stays closed. You'll see hitters that pick up that front foot. You want that to come down right on contact, lock out that lead leg, which helps you to, get your hips through the pitch.
It bounces away from Wade, and moving on to second, making a big turn and heading to third will be Brown, as Wade can't find the ball. Couldn't find the handle, so Jesse Brown first to third on the wild pitch.
And we just talked about Jesse Brown, fundamentally sound. You talked about his bunt. What a great piece of base running, because he found the baseball. And yes, young people, he looked at the ball. You got to know where the ball's at. When he rounded second, he knew that there was trouble behind him, and he made the decision on his own to go to third. A very, very sound, fundamentally play using his speed.
Wade, I think, may have broken a strap on that helmet. He's going to get a replacement. Here's a look back at the play.
So there's the chase. And once he slips, the ball gets away for just a second. And Jesse Brown had looked the entire time to find the ball, made a decision, and then went into overdrive, going first to third on an exciting base running play.
Back to the top of the order, engage Eller. Well, and that's a play that you'll see in high school and college, and unfortunately you don't see it in professional baseball that much, in terms of the runner busting it hard for second base on the wild pitch, because that's what set it up and allowed him to go all the way to third. With the infield back and a 4-0 deficit, the ground out. Eller to third baseman Royce. He's been a busy man. 2 gone now to Cameron Hupp. Hupp singled and scored in the first inning. Hupp, the right fielder for AO.
I think those orange shoes are his trademark among his teammates.
Well, I was wondering why other of his teammates haven't bought into that concept. I don't know whether it's a exclusivity deal or the opportunity to be unique. That wild pitch will score Brown with the 5th run of this game. It's a 5-0 lead for the Bombers.
And how important was that situation where Brown went from first to third? You just saw it. It helped produce a run. That's a ball that Wade probably would like to have another opportunity at. The glove went down, but you got to round off that chest and do whatever you can. Watch the glove go down, but you got to get the body down, the chest down.
Five runs scored here in a little over 3 innings for the Bombers today. Yesterday, of course, it was the 1-0 loss to Illinois Lutheran. A great pitching battle between Gage Eller and Grant Farmer. Eller picked up his first loss of the season, and it's a 2-out walk to Hupp.
Hupp's going to leave his school number 3 in his class among their leading hitters.
We've seen Cameron Hupp as a hitter. We've seen Jared Hupp as a pinch runner. Those 2 Hupps are cousins. Will this stay in the infield? Right on the outfield grass for Zaffy, and that will close out the inning. However, Argenta Oreana Bombers add another one. A single, a wild pitch, followed by a run-scoring wild pitch. It's 5-0. AO heading to the bottom of the 4th. The city of Peoria hosts the first weekend of the Boys State Baseball tournaments in Illinois, 1A and 2A here in Peoria. We are located just on the edge of downtown, the business side of Peoria, here at Dozer Park, the home of the Peoria Chiefs. Next week we'll be in Joliet, and that also will be right downtown at Silver Cross Field for 3A and 4A championship baseball. New Athens has to get things going pretty quickly here against McHood. He has 7 strikeouts in this ball game through 3 innings. Tyler Meyer, the cleanup hitter, will get his first opportunity here in the bottom of the 4th.
So the state tournament, I believe, has been in Peoria. It's been in Champaign. It's been in Geneva. It's been in Joliet. It's been in Springfield. It's been in Peoria again. Did I miss anything?
I think it was actually across the river in East Peoria.
East Peoria.
And of course, East Peoria is the site of this weekend's 1A and 2A and next weekend's 3 and 4A girls softball state championships.
And I bet you know this. Has softball basically been? Oh, softball used to be in Pekin, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I'm pretty
You
good at
are
that.
all over this.
I'm all over that.
It's as if you lived in central Illinois. Easy tapper to Jesse Brown for the first out. And of course, those softball games, you can also watch those on IHSA.tv. Our friend Bo Spencer bringing you those ball games.
You know, it's so neat, the relationship the Illinois High School Association has with the different tournament venues that they use. It's a good, you know, really a good relationship among, you know, the tennis people, the track people, the Charleston tennis people up in the north suburbs, the football people in DeKalb and Champaign, and basketball in Peoria. I mean, just you go on and on. It's a working relationship. It's a respect relationship among the communities in the IHSA.
Peoria hosts those 2 weekends of boys basketball, and you talk about here in Peoria, and I think it's very noticeable here because of how involved this city gets, the tremendous number of volunteers that they look forward to these weekends when they bring in people from all over the state and try to make for a great atmosphere representing their city.
Well, and you and I have had the great fortune to do a lot of those games down at, you know, in the Civic Center over there, and it's amazing how many of the volunteers we see, the same people year after year after year after year, that just come back. They love it. They love to give back.
1 out walk to Alec Wade here in the 4th. I'll bring up Nick Ozier. Second walk allowed by McHood. He is yet to allow a hit. Wade will run for himself.
That's good.
Ozier today struck out looking his first time up. You know, speaking of the Civic Center, you can see that beyond the left field wall. We are right about a block away.
Yes, you can. Left center field. If you hit a ball that far, you've done something. Even Jim Tomey couldn't, and he's probably one of the most famous alums from this area.
Chance for 2. There's 1 and 2. Gage Jeller rolls it in the middle, and that's a quick inning in the bottom of the 4th for the Yellow Jackets. Through 4 here, 1A third place game. It's all Bombers, 5-0. Speaking of the Peoria Civic Center, there it is, just above those trees, that little arch on the roof, the site of boys 1A through 4A basketball championships, and just a quick little jog over here to Dozer Park. We'll start the top of the 5th inning. Logan Jackson, last time he swung a bat, he left the yard, deposited deep in left field, a 2-run homer, made the score at that time 4-0.
The strength of that forearms, but again, you hit a ball with your legs first and foremost.
He drives this one fairly deep to center. Charlie Roussan hasn't played perfectly. Jackson's been all over Ozier, a couple of flyouts to center in that long home run. That will bring us to Cole Banks. Banks single and an RBI and also a bounce out today. Combination for AO again next year. Banks just a sophomore, McHood a junior. So folks that are putting the Bombers on their schedule, you know what you're getting.
If you put them on your schedule, you got to try to figure it out when McHood's not pitching. Let's see, I'm not going to play you on I'm not playing you on a Wednesday because you might pitch on Monday. Yeah. He's special.
Gage Eller will graduate, or has graduated. Ooh, that ball just got outside that bag at third base. That would have been an infield hit for Banks. You know, you look at Gage Eller yesterday. He picked up his first loss of the year for Argenta Oreana. He's now 7-1. In 6 innings, he gave up 2 hits and 1 run. What's happened here today? Through 4 innings, McCood has not allowed a hit and has not given up a run. So you're talking about, between those 2 pitchers combined, 10 innings and only 2 hits allowed. That's in the state finals.
That's some solid pitching. Talk about giving your team a chance.
Yesterday, however, the Bombers ran into Grant Farmer and Illinois Lutheran. 1-0 shutout loss for AO. Banks to be followed by Austin Brown here in the Bombers order. That ball is yanked well out of this park. Foul territory.
Yeah, Farmer in that 1-0 victory, he threw 90 pitches only, but they went and used Sam Geraci as a closer after that through 1 inning. So pretty gutsy call. That's the norm at the the big league level or whatever, closer. But high school usually ride the guy. They must have the the system down that Geraci was going to come in and close that game was probably predetermined yesterday.
We will see Illinois Lutheran coming up following this ball game. They'll be playing for the 1A state title against the, I guess you still have to call them underdog, the Trojans from Weber. Weber at 23-7. They have had 3 come from behind late inning victories in this state tournament, and they have 11 players on their baseball roster. Banks gives this one a pretty good ride to left field, but drifting over is Brandon Berger for the 2nd out.
Talked about the ball getting through the infield much quicker than yesterday, and the ball's carrying to the outfield much more. And quite honestly, both teams are getting better swings of the baseball, although McCood has had his way. But
we have a pinch hitter. Jared Hupp will be batting for Austin Brown. 2 outs here in the 5th inning and a 5-0 lead for Argenta Oreana. Hupp, a senior, 375 average out of 16 at bats, 6 hits, 16 at 6 hits and 16 at bats. He scored 5 runs, driven in a couple. Well, that is something Tom Sanchez will probably try to do here, try to sneak as many seniors as he can into this game. See some yellow t-shirts walking around. That would indicate some Weber fans from Bluford have made their way here to Peoria. Evidently, Bluford was pretty quiet yesterday.
Bluford community was in Peoria.
After that conversation between Banks, or make that between Wade and Osier, Hupp looks at a strike 2 count. He's able to stay alive.
Might be safe to say that this is the biggest athletic achievement. I know in the IHSA, but probably the biggest news in Bluford in quite a year.
They've never had an athletic program get that far. Hupp was able to just get a little piece of that ball. How exciting it will be for each of those schools, Weber and Illinois Lutheran. First time ever in the athletic program has been in that state finals. And somebody's going to get a state championship trophy. Hupp, though, will be registered with the strikeouts. 3 up, 3 down inning for Nick Osier. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. It's still 5-0 Bombers. That type of day here in Peoria, just sit back, relax, and watch baseball the way it's supposed to be done. If you're a Bombers fan from Argenta, Oreana, you have yourself a 5-0 lead, and you have your pitcher who's not allowed a hit through 4, facing the 7, 8, 9 men here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Dave Bernhardt along with Hall of Fame coach Mark Lindo. 3 more games to follow today. We'll take care of business here in the morning with Class 1A, and in the afternoon, it's all about 2A.
In most of these schools, just getting out, so the students that we see in attendance, they're not very stressed right now. Finals are over. Their team's going to take home a trophy. They're soaking up some sun. Don't get no better than this, does it?
Only if you had retired 2 days ago.
Like the man to our left, he were just retired.
Yeah, Rich Piacek, 34 consecutive years at the state tournament. Now official score. He's assumed a lot of different responsibilities at the state finals and all those locations you mentioned.
Did an awful lot of good things for Andrew Athletics.
Royce goes down swinging. That is the 8th strikeout of the day for McHood.
That one registered 84. Look at the movement down and in, just nasty. Now that was an 84 mile two-seam fastball that just ran in on a hitter.
Taking his hacks now is Lucas Miller, a strikeout victim in the 3rd.
You got to load it up a little bit quicker than you're used to.
You notice McHood pitching from the stretch here with nobody on base. And he changes speeds on that one, 74 miles per hour. So, okay, you've got your 85 mile per hour fastball and your breaking ball at 74.
Well, he's actually changed that, Dave. True. You know, he's been like an 81, like 79, 80 slider, and then he's taken a little bit more off of the curveball. So he's changed speeds on his breaking ball. I haven't seen a straight change yet, but 2 off-speed pitches with different speed to go on top of that fastball. Nice little repertoire.
Good pitch.
Close call there for Miller.
One more here, kid.
Most powerful, overpowering pitcher you've ever seen in high school? Am I going to guess?
Oh, boy.
Am I going to guess Gullickson or Grant for you?
Yeah, that was going to be my first ones off the top of my head. I think I really liked Mark Grant when he was throwing.
He was special.
He pitched in the state finals.
Yep.
Bounder up the middle. Eller didn't look like he had 6 innings of work on that right arm when he made that throw across. 2 gone here in the 5th.
Yeah, Grant was the 81 state finals, and that was special. Bob Kipper from Aurora Central was in that. He was 8th player in the nation chosen, 1st round, out of Aurora Central Catholic. And
Mark Grant from Joliet Catholic, along with Bill Gullickson that we referred to. Dylan Tootie, 9th place hitter, fouls this one into an empty section behind the Trojans from Weber. There they are, hovering down near the berm on the right field side. Big come from behind 10-inning victory yesterday over New Athens. That was our first game of the day. Doing a nice job of battling. He reached on a drop 3rd strike on a strikeout. Eventually stole second base. He was stranded there in the 3rd inning. That's a call, strike 3, right on the inside edge. 9 Ks through 5 innings and no hits allowed for Keegan McHood. His team is cruising. The Bombers on top of the Yellow Jackets, 5-0 here as we go to the 6th. Both coaches making some manipulations to their lineup to get a few more folks into the ball game. First of all, on the defensive side for New Athens, Wyatt Hepson will move to 2nd place, replacing Travis Zappi. And on the other side, Connor Haltom. When we get to his spot in the order, he'll be on deck, actually. He will hit for himself. But leading it off will be Taylor Farrell, looking for a bunt hit. Argenta Oreana 23-6 on the season. Their season started with a loss, 11-1 loss to a very good Williamsville team. And then the Bombers ripped off 11 straight. Nick Ozier on the mound. He's given up 6 hits, 5 runs. Big hit was the 2-run homer in the 3rd inning by Logan Jackson.
And you talk about that lost to Williamsville. They came back and had a nice win against them later on.
That was a worm burner all the way out to short. Farrell down the line quickly, and they just get him by half a step from Lucas Miller. So Connor Halton will come to the plate. He will bat for himself. Jeffrey Parker, the DH, will take a little breather. Halton this season, the 6', 220-pound senior, been playing third base. He only has 19 official at-bats, 4 hits, and he may get one right here. He does.
How about that?
Yeah, that feels good. And so he'll look over to Tom Sanchez, says, hey, why wasn't I hitting here the whole time? Good job. Jesse Brown will come to the plate. Halton down there at first base.
AO fans over the first base dugout. I just saw a picture of them. Some in blue, some in orange. Got to get their stuff together, huh? Pinch runner here.
Seth Bowman, another senior, will run for Halton, so works out doubly nice for Tom Sanchez. He gets the senior Halton in the game, who gets a base hit, and he's able now to run another senior, Seth Bowman.
Well, Coach Sanchez has 2 good things happening. He's creating opportunities for young men to get in the state tournament, and he also knows he's got the king of the hill on there. So he's
yes. Jesse Brown singled and scored in the 4th. He scored the 5th run of this game. 2 in the 1st, 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th for the Bombers.
Jesse Brown with some good base running.
All right, he went from 1st to 3rd on a wild pitch, then scored on another. They don't try to turn it, as Royce is able to snag that grounder and will force Bowman at 2nd base. Back to the top of the order, and Gage Eller hitless in 3 at-bats today. Eller this season, 343 average. Yesterday, Eller 1 for 2, had one of the 2 hits. Could had the other. That 1-0 loss to Illinois Lutheran.
Eller was on the basketball team, and he was hurt during that season. Had to miss some time, and McHood's numbers went up.
There goes Brown, and he'll steal this one easily as that ball skips in. Jesse Brown, the stolen base. So Eller in an RBI situation here. Left fielder Tyler Brandenberger playing very deep in left.
I don't know if you heard, Dave, but there was an announcement made about some changes in the schedule pending. So we'll try to get that in between innings, but they are making some adjustments due to some possible incoming weather.
Of course, we have 3 games scheduled to be played today. Immediately following this, it will be the championship game in 1A, Weber and Illinois Lutheran. They are both in the park, ready to roll. Eller waited. Royce. Now a rundown. Brown, he can just race it back to 2nd. Nobody was there. Well, that was not too pretty for New Athens. So it will be Eller at first. He reaches on the error, and Brown will eventually stay at 2nd.
And that's a fundamental play that's worked on in the gym every single day till the weather turns. They just didn't execute it.
And it's going to cost them a run. Cameron Hupp will drive in Brown. All the way to 3rd is Eller. Brown scores a 6th run of the game, and Hupp will pull into 2nd on the throw. 6-0, Argenta Oreana.
There's been some unearned runs with a couple defensive mistakes. It was a breaking ball that stayed up. Hupp stayed back, laced it into left center field.
McHood has a single and 2 runs scored here today. Keegan McHood. Line drive, and that will get down in front of Roussan. Two runners coming back to back. Safe. Out. Oh, man. Wow.
Carlton Fisk.
Oh, my goodness. You saw it happening. This was sweet. It's not the prettiest, but you always see something new. Take a look at it.
Good throw by Rusan, huh? He got a lot into that throw. There's the first runner.
Safe. Second. Hup. You are out. It's a 7-0 lead. Argenta Oreana, we go to the bottom of the 6th. Keegan McHood cruising with the 7-run lead. McHood is not allowed a hit. He has struck out 9 through 5 innings. He'll have to work through the top of the New Athens order here. Rusan, Brandenburger, and Contrado. Rusan will swing at that first pitch. Into the stands, hits some concrete, takes a high up, and somebody just ended up with a new baseball. Rusan will look at a 76-mile-per-hour breaking pitch today. Rusan, a strikeout and a walk. He's had quite a bit of activity in center field, however. Outfield playing straight away. Left side playing fairly deep for Rusan, the leadoff man in the order. Rusan stands 5'7", weighs 150 pounds. He's a senior, leads team in runs scored with 29. Illinois Lutheran 26-2. There are only 2 losses this year by 1 run. Weber 3 come from behind victories in the state tournament. They'll play for the state championship next, but first, Hood picks up his 10th strikeout. He came into this ball game, as we said, 125 strikeouts in 67 innings. About 2 an inning, and he is not disappointed here today. 10 through 5 1/3. Brandenburger takes a good hack. In fact, the only man in this batting order for New Athens who has not struck out today has been Alec Wade. So McHood has shared his strikeout pitches with everyone. One ball, 1 strike went out to Brandenburger. .6'3", 220-pound junior Keegan McHood delivers.
All right.
McHood pitched in the super sectional ball game. It was just a little bit too much for him to come back after that one. He also pitched in one in the sectional final, and after that sectional final, right after the game, he told his coach Tom Sanchez, "I'm going." He was referring to pitching in a super sectional on 3 days rest, and as if Sanchez didn't believe he was serious, the next day McHood sent him a text that said, "I'm going," and he did. Fly out to the left fielder. 2 quick outs here in the 6th.
Well, you got a guy that wants the ball, you give it to him, and you know, a young man knows his own arm. He knows his own, his own muscle physique. He knows his own ability. If you take care of that arm, if you do your running afterwards, you ice it, you get some ibuprofen, you do some, some light dynamic stretch between starts, you bounce back. You're only 16, 17 years old.
Well, and Sanchez and along with McHood admit he's best on, most comfortable on 4+ days of rest. This is 4 days of rest here today. He's coming out off a 12 strikeout performance in the super sectional. He has 10 here today, and he's not allowed to hit through 5 2/3. Brandon Contrado at the plate, the designated hitter. 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors for AO New Athens. No runs, no hits, and 4 errors. Just misses. Count 3-1. McHood has allowed a hit batter and a couple of walks. Another man reached on a drop third strike on a strikeout. And there is the 3rd walk.
So we have some information that comes from Illinois High School Association as we have a pinch hitter checking in. At this point, all the games are going to stay in order, but the IHSA is going to try to expedite the whole process, and games will be played literally one after the other after the other. They're going to try to shorten in between times so that fans that might be coming in from somewhere else, what have you, your team might be playing earlier than scheduled.
Okay, because they build in a little bit of a cushion
Right.
in each game, between each game here today, so that cushion will be wiped out.
Especially between, you know, the 1A championship and the 2A third place game. I mean, they're just going to go.
Jimmy Kiefer now batting for Tyler Meyer for the Yellow Jackets, left-handed hitter. Kiefer yesterday was designated hitter, 2 for 2, and a couple of RBIs.
Here we go.
Well, you can't go to the ballpark without peanuts.
Easy middle.
And Coach Bernhardt had some peanuts, and I just spilled all the shells all over the floor. My apologies.
Well, you know what? if you'd have spilled the whole peanuts, I wouldn't have had a problem. It's the shells.
I'll get my vacuum between games, okay?
I'll say my apologies to Dozer Park maintenance crew. Fastball brought at 84 miles per hour from McHood.
Hot kick it.
Wind starting to pick up,
Yep.
blowing from the right field pole to the left field pole. And all of a sudden, McHood back-to-back walks allowed, and here comes his coach, Tom Sanchez, make sure his big righty is okay.
So the championship of 1A is scheduled for 11:30. Scheduled for 11:30. It's 10:22 now, so if we stay at this pace, you know, we could start that game in 11:15.
And we still have, what, an inning and a half to go
Yep.
here, bottom of the 6th and then all of the 7th.
Right.
104 pitches thrown by McHood. That's with 2 outs here in the 6th.
And here's going to be one of those situations possible that you know the young man has a bright future. He might have a draftable future. So you get into pitch counts because of that, but yet he's got a no-hitter. So it's always tough on a coach.
You know, if you look back in the history books, the last no-hitter thrown in state tournament play was in 2007. That was in Joliet, and it was thrown by Jeff Rowan from Neuqua Valley. No-hit. Washington High School. This is Alec Wade at the plate, fouls it away.
And Jeff Rohn went on to catch at Northwestern University. And I mean, he was a starting catcher, yet he was able to throw a no-hitter as a pitcher. So pretty versatile.
There have been 20 no-hitters thrown in state tournament play, and you say, wow, that's a lot, but this is a long-standing tournament and a lot of games played in the state finals. Of course, this includes just the finals, doesn't include the regionals or sectionals. This, and in the old days, not that long ago actually, 1-class system and then eventually 2-class systems where 8 teams came to the state finals.
And of course, what you're also getting is everyone's the best pitcher, you know, with an opportunity to get no. I mean, you talked about some of the good ones.
McHood, a couple of strikeouts in this inning. He is up to 11, and he is not allowed a hit through 6. Bombers cruising to the 7th we go. 7's the big number, 7-0, AO. Logan Jackson to lead things off here for Argenta Oreana. Jackson today 2 flyouts to center, and in between those, a bomb for the Bombers, a home run deep over the left field fence, 2-run blast. Made the game at that point 4-0. Subsequent to that, run in the 4th, 2 more in the 6th for this 7-0 advantage. Osier still on the mound as he takes a little bit off of that. Osier today is allowed 9 hits, a couple of strikeouts. Thrown a couple of wild pitches, he's walked 1 batter. Jackson's hit the ball hard every time up.
You wanted the 0-2 fastball up quite a bit of times. You want your pitcher to, you know, at least make it enticing to swing at, not be, you know, foot over the head.
Another hard hit ball right to center fielder. Jackson is You know he's officially 1 for 4. He's been right on Ozier all day.
I like the way Roussan plays center field. He had the good throw out at home plate last inning. I've seen him break back on a ball, adjust, set his feet a couple times. Very solid.
Another pinch hitter for AO. It will be Austin Welker. Backup catcher, junior, 250 average, 36 at bats. He will be hitting for Cole Banks. Banks, the sophomore catcher.
For Oreana, number 15, Austin Welker.
We will get a pinch hitter on deck as well. It'll be Griffin Sparks to be the next man to bat. And this is lined and down. So the 2 pinch hitters that Tom Sanchez has sent up there have delivered with base hits. It was Connor Halt who actually hit for himself, and now Welker.
And that was a pretty good pass to the baseball. Stayed close, kept the front side right in. Look at, watch his right shoulder stay in there. The hands get through the baseball. He drops the barrel. Solid piece of hitting.
And they will run for Welker. Devin McBride will come in to run at first base.
Coach Sanchez getting an awful lot of thought to his bench. Getting young men into the state tournament.
Griffin Sparks, the pinch hitter here. He's actually technically pinch hitting in the 6th spot. Austin Brown occupied that spot. Jared Hupp batted for him in the 5th inning. Sparks this year with 39 at bats, 9 hits, 231 average. Sparks also a junior. A couple of folks getting hits that allowed Sanchez to get a couple more players in the ball game running the bases.
Anytime you have underclassmen following your program, in your program, and you have great success and you get to the tournament, you even get a bat of the tournament, it makes you want to improve so much more in your off-season workouts, and you have a chance for people to develop from, you know, from this year to next year. And the best example of that was Pleasant Plains, right?
How about that?
Lost 9 starters and find themselves in the finals.
Griffin Sparks at the plate. In terms of pitching, he will return next year. He threw the 3rd most innings on this club this year, behind Mick Hood and the senior Gage Eller. Goes right through that pitch. And we'll get another pinch hitter. Sam Barber will bat for Taylor Farrell.
Now batting number 8, Sam Barber.
Barber's 5'10" junior, 3 hits, 15 at bats. First pitch right down the middle.
So the 2 1A semifinals yesterday. Game 1 drew 279 fans in attendance. Game 2 drew 337. So, and then, you know, we'll touch on 2A later on, but attendance grew throughout the day. Obviously, a couple bigger schools and bigger communities.
3rd out of the inning. Gonna pop out to first, and we'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Big lead for Argenta Oreana. Keegan McHood looking for a no-hitter. Number 14 there, Connor Damray taking over at second base for Jesse Brown, and at first, Griffin Sparks will stay in the ball game and play first base. The batter here in the 7th inning to get things started, Nick Gozier. Here at the 6, 7, and 8 spots in the new Athens order, they do not have a hit through 6.
Shh.
Well past that jinx.
I know.
Pitch count for McCood adding up. He has 11 strikeouts through 6 innings. He goes 2-0 here to Ozier. Walked a couple of batters last inning. Working quickly. That's 3-0.
I got to believe he has some other no-hitters on his ledger that we are not privy to those stats, but he can be overpowering at times.
4-pitch walk starts the 7th inning.
But never on a bigger stage in the state finals.
Tell Keegan you're behind him. Tell Keegan you're behind the runner.
And Ozier will have officially a courtesy runner. Here it will be Theo Dudek, freshman. It's an opportunity to play in the state finals. Ozier gets a hand from his fans. The senior sits into his dugout.
Pinch hitter on deck as well as this pinch hitter stepping in.
Now this is still Ryan Royce here, and there will be your first hit of the game for New Athens. So it will remain the last no-hitter pitched in state finals history in 2007. That was clean and smooth off the bat of Royce.
And there's the decision with a pitching change. Great coaching decision, great pitching performance.
And folks on both sides come to their feet to acknowledge and appreciate the effort of number 5 right there, Keegan McCood. There are your 2 pitchers right there, the 2 folks that pitch in this tournament. Eller gives that big hug to McCood. So McCood will go over to first base, just a flip-flop between McCood and the first baseman, Sparks. Griffin Sparks now will come in and try to finish this one off.
Find Sparks' numbers as he tries to close things down. Griffin Sparks, a junior, 4-1 record in 27 innings pitched. A rather high 5.70 earned run average, 34 strikeouts in 27 innings. That's efficient. He's walked 11, given up 22 earned runs, 27 hits. So his whip, walks to hits to innings pitch, not real strong, but he's able to do some things to help his team close this one down.
So through 6 innings and then a couple of batters here in the 6 innings here, the 6 innings that Eller pitched yesterday for Argenta Oreana, just 3 hits allowed total in those 12 innings, and only 1 run has crossed the plate against those 2. And had it not been for the shutout by Farmer and Geraci for Illinois Lutheran, Argenta Oreana would not be playing this 3rd place game.
Royce stepped up with the first hit and hit that ball with authority, didn't he?
Took a good hack at it. He knew that McCood had been losing a little bit. You know, he did not have the command. He did pick up his 11th strikeout after walking 2 batters the previous inning, and then a 4-pitch walk to start the 7th here.
Good picture of Keegan McCood right there. Kind of nice to know he's back. Strikeout machine. Fastball in, no chance. Mid-80s. Another ball in, down and in with a 2-seam. Here's another one. Now he goes backdoor hammer, breaking ball.
And Griffin Sparks. Line drive up the middle, and Scott Wine, third base coach, will hold his runner right there. Bases loaded, nobody out here for New Athens in the bottom of the 7th. Theo Dudek at 3rd, Royce at 2nd, and now at 1st, Lucas Miller, who got that base hit. Dylan Tootie struck out a couple of times, reached on a drop 3rd strike on one of them. Infield back, obviously, a 7-run lead here. The Bottom of the 7th inning. Banks smothers that one. Well, the no-hit drama has left the building. New Athens keep scratching here. Chasing 7. Bases loaded, a 3-0 count on Tootie.
Uphill climb for AO. You're just thinking outs. You're not thinking runners whatsoever. Sparks' job is to pitch to contact, trust his defense, and know that you have a cushion to work with.
Count now at 3-2.
So Tootie's looking at fastballs about 10 to 11 miles an hour less than he was, about a half hour ago his last at bat.
This is a tough play. Sparks gets him nicely done. A run will score. Ultimate third. Sparks from the mound converged. Well done. Look back.
Well, this is a pretty athletic play. High chop, but he set his feet and got onto the baseball hurt. Very fortuitous extra bounce. The ball came up to him. He did not have to reach down for it. And because of that and his ability to set his back foot, square it, and throw it, he was able to get a very, very important first out.
It's a 7-1 game. Runners at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out for Charlie Roussan. Things if Tootie's able to reach on that, if he's able to be half a step quicker, sitting changes complexion pretty quickly. You'd be looking at bases loaded, nobody out, and a run in. Right now it's 2nd and 3rd with 1 out.
Pretty solid breaking ball right there.
Roussan's been puzzled quite a bit today. He struck out twice against McHood. Waits on that one. Eller wants it. 2 out. Brandenberger to the plate. New Athens made the run here in the state tournament. 14-17 record coming in. And that will close it out. Argenta Oreana claims your 3rd place trophy here in Class 1A with the 7-1 win over New Athens. The Yellow Jackets end up 19-19. They'll pick up the 4th place trophy, and for the Bombers, a 24-6 closing record here in the 2014 season, and 3rd place in the IHSA state finals.
Solid ball game, solid pitching. We got a treat seeing Keegan McHood. No doubt about that, with a bright future, and both teams shaking hands. Great picture of that. 2 quality programs, 2 quality coaches that have been around the block, and 2 communities proud of their respective baseball teams.
McHood picks up his 11th win of the season, striking out 11 through 6 innings, only allowed 1 hit in 6+ innings. It's Argenta Oreana, your 3rd place finishers in Class 3A. And I'll make sure you stick around. We still have 3 ball games to go, including your Class 1A state championship. Weber taking on Illinois Lutheran. That will come up next. But once again, congratulations to both the Bombers and the Yellow Jackets. For Mark Lindo, I'm Dave Bernhardt. We'll talk to you in just a bit from Dozer Park.